Hello friends, this is Pratik Grover from Methodology Maths by Pratik Grover. Our today's topic is exercise 3.6 from 10th standard NCERT textbook. The chapter's name is pair of linear equations in two variables. In that 3.6 only word problems are left. There are 3 word problems, but we need to explain that 3 word problems in depth. So let us start with our exercise. So before starting, it's a reminder, please do subscribe my channel if you have not done yet, and please do click that bell icon to get notified whenever I post a new video regarding your topic. So let us start today's topic by word problems in 3.6 exercise. The first question, as you can see, it says start from second question. The first we have done in our previous class, in the previous video, we have done all these special sums. Now the implementation of these different types of sums in word problems can be seen through this exercise. Ritu can row downstream 20 kilometers in 2 hours and upstream 4 kilometers in 2 hours. Find her speed of rowing in still water and the speed of the current. Now before going in depth of this question, first you should know what do you mean by upstream and what do you mean by downstream. So what do you mean by upstream? The river always flows from hill to sea. Suppose this is the hill point, this is my river flowing, and this is my sea point. This is known as flow of the river. The river will always flow from higher point to the lower point, or I would say always in the downward direction. The river will always flow in the downward direction. Suppose this is your boat. If you are flowing in the downward direction in the river, it is known as downstream. And when you are going upwards towards the river, means you are traveling in the upward direction, that is known as upstream. Now what is the difference? The river water is continuously flowing in the downward direction, means it is flowing in the downward direction. If you are flowing with it, means you are also flowing downstream, then the speed of your boat and the waves will help each other and your speed will increase. The relative speed of the object which is traveling on the river will increase because it is having own its speed and river is also flowing in the same direction. But if you travel in the opposite direction of the river will force you down and the boat has to climb, and it will take much more time and it will be difficult for the boat to climb that river because river is continuously pushing it downwards. In that scenario, the relative speed of the river and the boat will be difference of the two respectively. So as we studied in exercise 3.5, that when the two cars were in same direction, then we subtract, and when they're opposite direction we add. But in upstream and downstream, when the flow of water and your flow is in the same direction, then we will add them, and if your direction is opposite to the direction of flow of water, we will subtract the relative speed. These both concepts are different, so don't get confused in between them. So question, shall I repeat once again? Ritu can row downstream 20 kilometers. The distance traveled during downstream. So let me give the heading as downstream. During downstream, the distance covered D is 20 kilometers. The distance covered is 20 kilometers, and it is downstream. And they have the question is find the speed of rowing in still water and the speed of the current. So before starting the downstream, we have to specify x and y. Let speed of rowing be x kilometer per hour and speed of current means water, is y kilometer per hour. The speed of rowing is x kilometer per hour in still water, and I don't have place, so write in still water over here, in still water, and speed of current is y kilometer per hour. Now comes downstream. During downstream, D equals 20 kilometers. In the relative speed, Relative speed. Downstream means you are flowing downwards with the river. So relative speed will be x plus y kilometer per hour. The relative speed will be x plus y kilometer per hour. Time taken to travel the distance of 20 kilometers is just 2 hours. You took 2 hours to complete this journey. By our equation, distance equals to speed multiplied by time, we will get 20 equals to x plus y multiplied by 2. This 2 will get divided over here. This will be 10 equals to x plus y. This is my first equation. This is my first equation. Now, upstream. During upstream, the boat has traveled only 4 kilometers. So D is equals to 4 kilometers during upstream, and relative speed during upstream will be always remember the speed of boat is always higher than the speed of the current. So the relative speed will be x minus y, not write y minus, don't write y minus x, write x minus y kilometer per hour. Why x minus y? Because upstream you are traveling in the opposite direction of the speed of the river, the flow of the water. The time taken is 2 hours. So by our formula, distance equals to speed multiplied by time. Distance is equals to 4. Speed is x minus y. Time is 2. This 2 will get denominator divided on the left hand side. So 2 equals to x minus y. This is a second equation. You got one equation in x plus y, one equation in x minus y. You can directly eliminate them by adding them. If you add them, y will get eliminated and you will get x. Substituting the value of x, you get y. So again, what is upstream, downstream? Upstream means when you travel against the river, that means the flow of water will bring hindrance to your flow, your movement. So the relative speed will be the difference of the two speeds, your speed of the speed of the boat and the speed of the water that is flowing in the river. During downstream, you are flowing with the water. So water will be helping you to flow. In that scenario, the relative speed will be the sum of the speeds of water and the boat. Using that concept and the formula distance equal to speed into time, we obtain two equations and we have solved them. Second question. The second question is, 2 women and 5 men can together finish an embroidery work in 4 days, while 3 women and 6 men can finish it in 3 days. Find the time taken by one woman alone to finish the work and also that taken by one man alone. In 8th standard, this type of sums used to be taught to the students, but as the course has been some changed or due to some reasons, these type of questions has been removed. So there is only one such type of question in this textbook which I have to explain in detail with the concept. Now understand the concept. Suppose a person is doing, I'm just explaining it, I'm not starting the question yet, just explaining it. Suppose a person is completing a work in 10 days. So what is, and another person is completing the same work in 8 days. One is completing the work in 10 days, one is working and completing the work in 8 days. If they both work together, in how many days will the work complete? Obviously the work will be completed in less than 8 and 10 days both. So how will you find out? So for that, we have to first see what is the 1 day work of each of the person. If 10 days are required to complete one work, that is in 1 day, 1/10 of the work is completed. One work is required 10 days. So how much work will be completed in 1 day? By cross multiplication, you will get 1/10 of the work will be completed in 1 day. So similarly, 8 days took by second person. So one day work of that person will be 1/8. if these two workers work together, so in one day, if we add these two work, this much work will be completed in one day if these two workers work together. In one day, 1 by 10 plus 1 by 8, this much work will be completed. Take LCM, LCM will be 40. So this will be 4 plus 5 upon 40, that is 9 by 40. This much work would be completed in one day. I'm explaining it again. A person used to complete the work in 10 days and another person was used to complete the work in 8 days. If they work together, then how much time would it take to complete the work? So we cannot compare directly the work with the number of days. We have to compare the one day work of all the workers. If one work is completed in 10 days, how much work will be completed in one day? In one day, if you do by cross multiplication, 1/10 of the work can be done. That means the first person is doing 1/10 of the work in one day. Similarly, the second person will be doing 1/8 of the work in one day. They both are now working together. If they both are working together, so this is the one day work of first worker, this is one day work of the second worker. You will add them, you will get 9 by 40. What is this 9 by 40? This is the one day work of the combined effort. One day में कितना काम हुआ? 9 by 40 काम हुआ. So in how many days the whole work will be completed? Whole work means one work. In one day this much work is completed. So in one, if I want to complete the whole work, how many days will be required? So again cross multiplication, the answer will be 40 by 9. So in short, first find one day work of each worker, then add them, and then to find the number of days, just reciprocal the work done by them in one day. Just reciprocal the work done by them in one day. Now what happens is, in this question, similar type of question, I am not saying the same type of question, 2 women and 5 men can together finish an embroidery work in 4 days. There were 2 women and there are 5 men, 2 औरतें थी, 5 males है. They together finish an embroidery work in 4 days, while 3 women and 6 men can finish in 3 days. Find the time taken by one woman alone to finish the work and also time taken by one man alone to finish the work. This is my question. So now the question is, find the number of days took by one woman to complete the work if only one woman would have doing the work. So जो पूछा होता हम उसी को वेरिएबल लेते हैं. Let number of days, actually everything is given days, so we will take days only. कभी कभी क्वेश्चन को ट्विस्ट करके आवर्स में भी दिया जाता है, तो यहाँ पे नंबर ऑफ आवर्स लिखेंगे. लेट द नंबर ऑफ डेज टेकन बाय वन वुमेन equals to x days, and that taken by one man b equals to y days. One woman takes x days if she alone works for the job, and if one man works, he takes y days. I have already told that we cannot compare the number of total days they took to complete the work. We have to compare their one day works. Therefore, one day work of one woman, if she can complete the work in x days, so in one day she would be able to complete 1 by x days, 1 by x work, and one day work of one man, will be equals to 1 by y. This is the one day work of one woman, this is the one day work of one man. Now the question is, 2 women and 5 men. 2 women and I have kept with plus sign. 5 men completes the work. This arrow suggests they complete the work in 4 days. The combined effort of 2 women and 5 men completed the work in 4 days. So this group, which is having 2 women and 5 men, how much amount of work will be they completing in one day? Therefore, one day work of 2 women, I am writing 2W for women, and 5 men will be equals to 1 by 4. If this group is taking 4 days to complete, so 1 day work of this group will be equals to 1 by 4. 1 day work of 2 women. See, there were 2 women and their 1 day work. So if 1 day work of 1 woman is 1 by x, so what is the 1 day work of 2 women? 2 into 1 by x. Understood? See, 1 day work of 1 woman is 1 by x, and there were 2 women in this group. So 2 women and their 1 day work is 1 by x. So total work done by 2 women in 1 day will be 2 1 by x, plus 1 day work of 1 man is 1 by y. So 1 day work of 5 men will be 5 into 1 by y equals to 1 by 4. I hope I made myself clear. Again I am explaining this. Let the number of days taken by the one woman be x days. हमको जो फाइंड करना है उसको x और y लेते हैं. अब 1 day work of 1 woman will be 1 by x and 1 day work of 1 man will be 1 by y. 2 women और 5 men का ग्रुप है जो एक काम को खत्म करता है 4 दिनों में. They complete the work in 4 days. So what will the 1 day work of this group? In 1 day they will be completed 1 by 4. So in 1 day 2 women are working and 5 men are working. If one woman would have been working for 1 day, 1x of the work would have been completed. But now 2 women are working, so for 2 women we need 2 into 1 by x. This is the amount of work completed by 2 women in 1 day. Similarly, 5 male are completing the work, so 5 into 1 by y will be the work done by 5 male in 1 day. Adding these two will be the 1 day work of the whole group. And here, as you can see, we have variables in the denominator. So let 1 by x equals to a and 1 by y equals to b. Therefore, it will be 2a plus 5b equals to 1 by 4. This 4 will go in that side. So 8a plus 20b equals to 1. I know that 4 is common over here, but I am not taking 4 common because there is nothing common over here. This is my first equation. Now the second is 3 women. This was my first. 3 women plus 6 men. They took 3 days to complete the work. They took 3 days to complete the work. Therefore, 1 day work of this group. What is the 1 day work of this group? That is 3 women and 6 men will be 1 by 3. Will be the 1 by 3 work done by this group. Now 3 women. 3 women means 1 woman was 1 by x. So 3 into 1 by x plus 6 male, that is 6 into 1 by y equals to 1 by 3. As you can see, 1 by x and 1 by y again. 1 by x was a, 1 by y was b. So 3a plus 6b equals to 1 by 3. This 3 will go and multiply over that side. So 9a plus 18b equals to 1. Using these two equations, we can solve it for a and b. After getting for a and b, substitute the values for 1 by x and 1 by y as we have done in the first part of this exercise 3.6. So this sum was not so easy. If you have not understood, please let me know in the comments so we can explain it again. But then too, please go through and through again and again through this sum. I have taught everything which I could have taught in this sum. This is the best way to learn it. So don't hesitate. Even if you are not able to find or understand, please let me know so I can make myself more clear in the next video. Now, third sum. Ruhi travels 300 kilometers to her home partly by train and partly by bus. She takes 4 hours if she travels 60 kilometers by train and the remaining by bus. If she travels 100 kilometers by train and the remaining by bus, she takes 10 minutes longer. Find the speed of train and bus separately. The question is to find the speed of bus and train separately, train and bus. So let speed of train equals to x kilometer per hour and speed of bus equals to y kilometer per hour. Taking this as variable, now let us move. Total distance is 300 kilometers. This is my total distance. Always remember the formula here we use it. The formula we will use is distance equal to speed multiplied by time. Now the first case. In this first case, case number 1, distance traveled by train. The distance traveled by train is 60 kilometers. Therefore, distance traveled by bus will be, total is 300 kilometers. The distance traveled by train is 60 kilometers. So distance traveled by bus will be 240 kilometers. The distance traveled by bus will be 240 kilometers. Time. How will you find time? Time taken on train or by train to complete 60 kilometers. See, the distance traveled by train is 60 kilometers and the speed of train was x kilometer per hour. So the time taken by train will be distance upon speed, that is 60 upon x. Time taken by bus. The distance traveled by bus is 240 and the speed of the bus is y. Again, distance upon speed, that is 240 by y. Total time for this journey. Total time for this journey is 4 hours. So total time will be the time taken by train and the time taken by bus. Therefore 60 by x plus 240 by y equals to 4. Am I right? This is the total time taken by bus and train respectively, and total time is 4 hours. Let 1 by x equals to a and 1 by y equals to b. So this will be 60a plus 240b will be equals to 4. 4 is common in everything. So 15a plus 60b equals to 4. See, I know that 60 is common actually, but I will not take 60 common because 60 will not get cancelled out anywhere. 4 will get cancelled out because 4 was there already. This 4 will get divided. So 15a plus 60b equals to 1. This is my first equation. Now case 2. Distance traveled by train is 100 kilometers now. Therefore, distance traveled by bus will be total was 300 kilometers. So the distance traveled by bus would be 200 kilometers. This will be the distance traveled by bus. Therefore, in this case, time taken by train will be distance upon speed. Distance is now 100 kilometers and the speed was already x kilometer per hour. Time taken by bus will be distance upon speed. Distance of bus is 200 kilometers and the speed is y kilometer per hour. Total time. They have told that total time is 10 minutes more than the time which was already taken. So 4 hours plus 10 minutes. We have to convert this minute into hour. Why? Because 2 units cannot be taken at the same time to solve the sum. Total time will be 100x plus 200y equals to, this is 4 plus 10 upon 60. Why 10 upon 60? Because we know that we have to convert the minutes into hours. This 0 will cancel out. This will be 100a because already you have taken 1 by x as a, plus 200b equals to, we have to take LCM on this side, 24 plus 1 upon 6. So this will become 100a plus 200b will be equals to 25 by 6. If you can see, This 6 will get multiplied over here, that's correct, but left hand side and right hand side both are multiple of 25. So let us first take 25 common, so that 25 get cancelled out, then we will multiply 6 on the left hand side. You can first multiply 6 also, no issues in that. So this will be 4a plus 8b equals to 25 by 6. Again I am telling you 100 is common, but why we are not taking 100 common? Because 100 कटेगा ही नहीं. ऐसा कॉमन निकालना है जो आजू बाजू कट जाए, वरना कॉमन निकालने का कोई फायदा नहीं है. This 25 will cancel out, it will remain 1 over here. This 6 will now go on that side and get multiplied. This 6 will get multiplied both of them, so that will be 24a plus 48b equals to 1. This is my second equation. Now seeing two equations, solve these two equations. To solve this, we can see that there is nothing common. One is 15a, 24a, 60b, 48b. Take LCM of any one number. So it's better to take LCM of smaller number. So 15 and 24, the answer will be 3, 5, 40, 120. 120 will be the answer. LCM will be 120. So multiplying equation number 1 by 8. If I multiply the equation by 8, it will become 120. And equation number 2 by 5. If I multiply 24 with 5, it will become 120. Now after making them equal, both are having same sign, so they should be subtracted, and subtract these equations. Therefore this will become, I am multiplying this with 8, so this will be 120a plus 480b equals to 8, and this will be 120a, 5 will get multiplied, this will be 240b equals to 5, and we have to subtract, so we have to change the sign, minus minus minus. This will cancel out. This will be 240b equals to 3. b will be equals to 240 will be in the denominator. 2 divided by 240. 3 ones are 3 80s are. So b will be equals to 1 by 80. As we know the value of b, what is b? b is 1 by y. Therefore 1 by y equals to 1 by 80. This will give y equals to 80 km per hour. This is the speed of the bus. Substituting the value of b to find a first, and using a we will find x. Substituting, don't substitute the value of y, you will not get x, that's sure. Value of b in equation number 1. So 15a plus 60 into 1 by 80 equals to 1. There 0 0 cancel out. This and 2 3s are 2 4s are. So 15a plus 3 by 4 equals to 1. This will remain. Now this 3 by 4 will go on the right hand side. So 15a will be 1 minus 3 by 4. Taking LCM will be 4 minus 3 1 by 4. Answer will be 1 by 4. So 15a will be 1 by 4. This 15 will go in the denominator and get multiplied with 4. A equals to 1 by 60. You got A. Using A, 1 by x equals to 60, and that implies x equals to 60 km per hour. So the speed of train is 60 km per hour and that of bus is 80 km per hour. So hope you understood these three sums. Very important from exam point of view, all three sums. That's all for today. We will continue this class with optional exercise of 3.7 in the next class. Thank you.